All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So I want to welcome everybody to the Trails and Open Space Coalition's Open Spaces Trail Ambassador Program. This is our information meeting. So this is to get everything kicked off. So we have some people who are on live and others who will be watching the YouTube recording after this. I want to welcome everybody, and this is an exciting new program that we're ready to get kicked off. All through tonight, if you have any questions, you can type them into the chat feature and we'll get them answered at the end. And if you have any other questions after this presentation, you can also send me an email. I'm Aaron at trailsandopenspaces.org. That is my email. So a little bit about myself. My name is Aaron Rogers. I am the program coordinator for the Trails and Open Space Coalition. And one of the fun projects I have going on this year in 2021 is building the Open Spaces Trail Ambassador Program. Last fall, in the fall of 2020, we had a pilot program in Green Mountain Falls. In the town of Green Mountain Falls, we had a small ambassador program of 9 people. And those 9 people had over 500 contacts with the public. And they had just tremendous power of helping people behave better and be better with leave no trace and be less of a nuisance to the town people there. So we decided to roll it out on a bigger scale. So now we want to focus on the open spaces here in Colorado Springs. So once again, welcome. In this information meeting, I'm going to go over what to expect. We're going to talk about the goals of the program. We're going to talk about what a trail ambassador is, what they do and what they don't do. And we'll also talk about the next steps, including an in-person training that will be happening soon. So before we really get started, I want to dive into talking about some of the big trends going on in the Pikes Peak region. What are we seeing, and where's that going to send us in the near future? So back in 2020, during the pandemic, we saw a 300% increase in trail and park usage in Colorado Springs. And already this year, we're expecting to see another 100 to 300% increase on top of that. And here in the Pikes Peak region, we are home to the most ultra users. An ultra user is a person who uses a park or a trail more than 4 or 5 times a week. And what that has created is an overcrowding issue. So we have our avid users who are always out. Then we're having a bunch of new users who have never been out in trails. They're finally getting outside for the first time. And that's really adding to that overcrowding, along with tourism and other things like that. Because of this overcrowding, it's pushed our ultra users to find new trails to recreate on. So they're finding new open spaces and trails that are a little bit off the beaten path. That is creating some issues for how to educate them and how to keep them safe. Also this summer in the Pikes Peak region, we're expecting to see a huge push in ecotourism. Because of the pandemic last year, a lot of people had that pent up need to go outside and explore. And Colorado Springs is a good location to do that with all our diverse outdoor spaces to go to. So this summer, we're expecting to see a lot more action at places like the Paint Mines, Palmer Park, North Cheyenne Canyon, Red Rock Open Space, and even Blodgett has seen an increase in visitation. So something fun, something interesting is back in 2018, a national survey was done, and it found that nearly half of healthy American adults didn't recreate outside. They didn't go for one walk. Fast forward to this year, and they expect more than half of those adults to actually get outside and recreate a lot. The COVID restrictions really inspired people to find new ways to get outside and how to build a new sense of community. And they're using the outdoors to do that. So this summer, we're expecting to see a continuation of those people who are not used to going outside, making their first effort to get outside in quite a while. All right, so we're gonna get down to business. We're gonna talk about what is a trail ambassador. A trail ambassador is a volunteer who walks trails looking for opportunities to educate the public. That is in the most broad sense. That is the most basic definition of what a volunteer trail ambassador is. But essentially what we're looking for is people who really enjoy being outside and like talking to people and like to share some of their stories and background knowledge of the parks that they love. So for this project, for this summer, we do have a few open spaces that will get the spotlight. Red Rock Canyon open space, Blodgett open space, Stratton open space, Austin Bluffs open space, Palmer Park. Those 6 parks are the ones that are going to get the spotlight the most this summer. We can add other parks on by special request or need. Sometimes park rangers will ask us to go to new parks, but this list right here is what we're looking at the most, but by no means is it a rigid one. We want all of our ambassadors to get out to different parks and talk to more people. So you can flip around to different parks or just single out one and stay there. But those are the ones that we have the biggest need for the summer. So why are trail ambassadors needed? Trail ambassadors give a good positive first point of contact to hikers. And really that's the big goal of this program is to have that first positive interaction with visitors. When they get to a park, especially here in Colorado Springs, they might be lucky enough to go to a trailhead that has a map or something like that, some kind of welcome kiosk. But a lot of times they're coming to trailheads where there is nothing there to help them. So we're going to train trail ambassadors to be at those critical points, so they have a smiling person or smiling face to approach, and a person who can answer those questions for them. We're also hoping that our trail ambassadors can model a good behavior on the trails. Trail etiquette and recreational empathy are big points of emphasis for this year. So we really want our trail ambassadors just to show how to be a good person who recreates on the trails. And of course, we're hoping that our ambassadors will be able to help answer questions that'll help users have better trips. A lot of times when our people who are new to the trails go out, they don't realize what they're about to do is going to be harder than expect, or maybe it's too easy. Maybe they're looking for something longer, or maybe there's other tips that trail ambassadors can give these people to help them have a better time. And that's what we're hoping to find this summer. And we're also hoping for trail ambassadors to help keep people safe. A lot of these parks, not only are we trying to keep people safe, but we're trying to keep vegetation safe and wildlife safe. And trail ambassadors can give that leave no trace information that can really benefit our parks. So to continue on why and trail ambassadors are needed, one of the big points of emphasis from the Colorado Springs Parks and Rec Department that we've gotten is that they need trail ambassadors when they're out on trails to look out for hazards or maintenance issues along the trails that they can report to TOSC so that we can make a detailed list and send it in to them and to the rangers to get things done. That will help speed up the process of taking care of some of these nagging issues that we're seeing along the trails. Also, we're hoping for the trail ambassadors to promote leave no trace principles. With our open spaces here in Colorado Springs, the staff is trying real hard to become gold standard with the Leave No Trace program. And this program will help them do that. So with our presence on the trails, we hope to help them get that gold standard a little faster. And we're also just looking for people to share their love. All parks need friends, they all need allies, and trail ambassadors are that. They're out there to share the love and to inspire people to care for their great outdoors. All right, so our next topic, what do trail ambassadors do? So with our program, this isn't a rigid list. We're not trying to just check things off a long list of boxes, but these are just some of the things that our trail ambassadors can do. Again, it's gonna be a long list and a lot of different opportunities. So first and foremost, we want trail ambassadors to talk to the public. When you see a person, we want, at the very least, just a greeting. We want to be that positive first point of contact. We want our trail ambassadors to spend time at trailheads and talk. I know that like at Stratton Open Space and Red Rock Open Space and even Blodgett, there are good trailheads where you can just stand there for an hour and just answer all sorts of fun questions and just hear all sorts of fun stories from visitors. It's really those stories that really make this program exciting. All right. And we're looking for trail ambassadors to walk the trails and look for opportunities to talk. Sometimes you won't find people at trailheads, but you might come across a person on the trail, and just a simple greeting is enough for this program. We're just looking to make everybody feel welcome on the trails. We're also looking for trail ambassadors who aren't afraid to be out there on busy days and busy trailheads and busy trails. The busiest days are the best ones because those are the ones that have the people that have the good stories. We're looking to spread joy and positivity. We definitely don't want to add negativity or give people a chance to be angry about something. We want to spread that joy. All right, so something else is that with our parks that we love, we tend to know the inside information or the park history, or we really like the nature about the area. So we're hoping that park ambassadors find ways to interpret those, the nature and all the cool things in those parks. We're also going to help our trail ambassadors give out information on trail etiquette. We're also looking for ways to give out information and model leave no trace. And when possible, when needed, our trail ambassadors will assist park staff with different programs or projects they have going on. At this point, we haven't heard much, but we know that there will be special cleanups and other events happening this fall that we'll need trail ambassadors to help out with. So not everything involves talking to the public. We also have other things that our trail ambassadors can help with. We're looking for pictures. So when our trail ambassadors out on the trails, we want to expand the TOSC and really the city of Colorado Springs' catalog of pictures. There are some open spaces and trails that we just don't have much of. So we're looking for our ambassadors to take fun pictures of really cool views, wildflowers, wildlife, users on the trails that represent how diverse our users are out there. We're also hoping that our trail ambassadors really get involved with community science. Uh, Apps like eBird, iNaturalist, or Clean Sweep, which is a fun app that keeps track of what trash you find on trails. We want to really get involved with that. So if it's a slow day, when you're out in the trails as a trail ambassador, you can pull out your phone and really just take note of the fun nature objects you're seeing out there and help really boost the knowledge that we're giving to the scientific community about what we're finding in our fun open spaces. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, our trail ambassadors can also make reports of maintenance issues that are going on trails. Oftentimes, our trail ambassadors will be the first person to come across an issue. And because most of you are avid ultra users, you know when something's out of place. You know when there is a water bar that's sticking out of the ground too far. You know when a tree branch is broken and is hanging a little too low. Or when there's just incredible mud damage along the trail. You can report that and we can make a difference a lot faster than what we're seeing right now. So what do trail ambassadors not do? You're not law enforcement. You're not a policeman, you're not a ranger. So if you see illegal activity taking place, you can report it to TOSC, or you can directly report it to non-emergency number for the police department. But we don't want you out there trying to enforce the law. You're also not a firefighter. So that means that if you see a fire, we just want you to call 911 or report it. We don't want you to put out a fire. All these things, we're trying to take out all those scary things that trail ambassadors are out there to have fun. We're trying to take out all that conflict. So trail ambassadors are not paramedics. Under no circumstance are you expected to give first aid. You can do what you feel comfortable doing or what your training allows you to do. But otherwise, if you happen to come across something that needs a paramedic, we want you to call for help. You're not game wardens. If you see a wildlife issue, we're just going to report that. We're not going to go out there and try to tame the wild beasts. We're not going to stop bears or mountain lions or anything like that. And most importantly, we're not going to approach aggressive users. Well, if you come across someone who's just having a rotten day, it is not your job to try to fix that. We'll go over that in training. We have great ways to de-escalate a situation or how to just avoid it. And during our in-person training, we'll definitely go over ways how you can get around a person who's upset about a person out with a dog off a leash, or a person who's upset about a maintenance issue, things like that. So there's a lot of benefits out there. Being a trail ambassador really is a great program, and it's more than just helping out your park. So for the volunteer, for you guys, The benefits include an increased social circle. You are not alone. We're expecting to have over 30 trail ambassadors by the time we end this program in the fall. And we already have around 18 trail ambassadors in Green Mountain Falls, and another 20 to 30 down in Cheyenne Mountain State Park, and another dozen out in Cheyenne Canyon Park as well. We're all a part of a big social network out there, and it would be one of the fun things that we're going to do is in either late July or early August, we're going to bring together all the trail ambassadors. We're going to have a big social in one of the parks, and we're going to talk about all experiences and the fun things we've seen. Another benefit for the volunteers who do this program is that if you spend 20 minutes outside a week, you see just tremendous mental health benefits from that. You see a decrease in anxiety and depression, help with focus and artistic skills. And that's just from being outside 20 minutes a week. You can easily do that by just being a trail ambassador and hanging out at a trailhead for half an hour. If you spend 2 hours out on a trail per week, doesn't have to be out once, but just 2 hours a week, you see tremendous physical health benefits from that, including cognitive and respiratory and cardiac benefits. Also, with this program, we'll help nurture new skills. Besides this information meeting and an in-person training that you'll attend, we'll also have other continuing education possibilities, along with different speakers who will help train you guys and you'll learn new skills and new information. And finally, it's that pride of making an impact in your community. What's fun about this program is we don't put any time limit. No minimum, no maximum. If you want to be out there for 10 minutes a month, if you want to be out there for 10 hours a month, you can make your impact in your community as a trail ambassador and still be good in this program. The park staff is very excited about having trail ambassadors out there. What they're looking at is that they're really excited. The benefits they see for themselves is they're going to get help. A lot of our rangers out there have long to-do lists, and especially during the summer, they have complex issues that pop up. So trail ambassadors help really take some of that weight off their shoulders by talking to the public. Also, the park staff has a message they want to push out there. They want to push the leave no trace message. They want to talk about the care and the stewardship for our parks, and you all will help with that. And also the information that you bring in, the information about maintenance issues or wildlife or just anything else that you see that you can report back. That will help the staff, and they're excited to see those reports. And our visitors are very excited for you all to be out there too. They have benefits. They are looking forward to having a friendly person to ask questions to. Some days, and what we found through some research, is that visitors are intimidated by staff. It is very hard to walk up to a ranger or a park maintenance tech to get information, but they are much more likely to talk to a trail ambassador. So they're excited to have a friendly face who isn't in a uniform that is intimidating to talk to. Also, people like to learn new information. You guys will really make their visits a lot better by just sharing your favorite trail or talking about wildlife or the geology or the history of a park. Any little tidbit of information you can give in 90 seconds to these people who are visiting, that'll help really, really elevate their view of the park and their experience. Also, what we found through some of our surveys with visitors is that they're excited to have an extra set of eyes watching over them. When we're out on vacation or out having a good time, we kind of forget about being safe. It is really that tourist syndrome where we want to get the perfect picture. So just having an extra set of eyes that can remind them not to go, take a selfie with a bear or go crossing through a barrier to get a picture off of a cliffside or going onto a fragile rock formation. We're here to keep them safe with that positive contact and education before they actually do it. And of course, nature needs us. Nature will see benefits. All of our parks need advocates, and some of our parks have friends groups, but some don't. So a place like Austin Bluffs could really benefit from having trail ambassadors out there who will just advocate for that park and for all the fun things that we see within. We also, the nature really needs someone to educate the public about the fragile natural resources we have. A big part of this program is protecting delicate wildflowers and habitats that are along trails. And you guys out there talking to the public and telling leave no trace principles and things like that will help protect those little fragile habitats. And also, just your presence will also inspire stewardship, and that will help all of our favorite wild places. So during our in-person training, which will take place relatively soon, we go over all the safety precautions. But just to give you an idea, our goal is to keep you guys safe. We tried to keep you guys out of confrontations or dangerous situations, but we'll help you prepare for your outing. During the summer and through the fall, we'll keep you up to date on COVID-19 precautions. We'll teach you how to stay safe with weather. We'll talk about how to talk to happy and angry users. We have great in-person training that involves group situations and scenarios where you can walk through really just about any kind of scenario you'll see, and we'll do that. Medical emergencies, whether your own or someone else's, we'll talk about how to handle those. Wildlife, we'll talk about how to be safe during those. Through my experience, and I have been a part of leading trail ambassador programs for over 5 years, with our volunteers on the trails, out of what has to be thousands of hours that we've spent on the trails, we've only had a handful of issues pop up, and really 99% of the time it's nothing but good stories that we have. But that 1% of stories that happens that are kind of negative, we'll talk about those, but they're so rare that it just doesn't happen much. So I want to talk about, what does a shift look like? What are we expecting this open space trail ambassador program to look like when you go out in the trails? Well, where to start? We'll talk about trailheads versus going on the trails first. But we hope that you pick a good trailhead that's busy, where you can talk to a lot of people and walk in the trails. During our training, we'll talk about how you can effectively talk to people and how to really make an impact in less than 90 seconds with a person. So when you're on the trail, with the statistics that we've seen from the Cheyenne Mountain State Park program, the North Cheyenne Canyon program, and the pilot program that we did in Green Mountain Falls, we found that the most people spend between 2 and 3 hours on the trail. That's an average. That is not an expectation. Some people spend shorter, some spend longer. That seems to be about the average. Also, during a typical shift, our stats have shown that a person will make a contact, even if it's a simple hello. They'll make a positive contact with a person with about, the average is about 50 people per shift, with about 5 of those being a 90-second or longer interaction. So if you need the buddy system, if you need someone who will go out there with you and walk the trails, we can make that happen. We have veteran trail ambassadors that will be more than happy to walk the trails with you. Also, a task staff person will go out if necessary with you guys to make sure you feel comfortable after our training. We will have post-shift reports, and those will be just simple Google surveys that you'll have, that when you're done, you'll have a link, you fill out your information, take you 2 minutes, maybe no more than 5 minutes to fill it out. You send it in, and then we can tabulate all that data and keep track and share it with you guys and the city of Colorado Springs, and of course the grants that we're getting for this program. And here we have a short list of the things that you'll need for this program, but really it's nothing more than what you usually bring on a normal hike. So our goals for this program, we're pretty ambitious with this program. Our goal is to have over 30 trail ambassadors by the end of the year. Right now, we have about 15 people who are signed up and ready to go and ready for training, but we're hoping to add 30 people or more. If you have a pet, you can bring it along. We need bark rangers. We'll also allow you to bring kids who are well behaved with you as well. We want you to be on the trails. We want you to feel comfortable and really help out. We want you guys to recruit family, friends, co-workers. Anybody else you can bring in this program is a plus. As a group, so all of our goals are always as a collective group. We are a big team. Some people will put more hours in than others, but at the end, It's the group statistics that matter because we are a community and we're hoping to help the community. We're hoping to talk to well over 1,000 visitors this summer. Some of our estimates could be that we could get closer to 10,000 if we get 30 ambassadors quicker than we think. We hope to walk a collective 100 miles of trails this summer. And the 6 highlighted parks and open spaces that we've put on this list, we're hoping to do all the trails and all the parks and cover 100 miles. As a group, as a collective group, in order to call it a success, we're hoping to get 20 shifts a month total. And if everybody does 1 shift a month, then we beat that goal easily. Our goal is also for everybody to fill out a post-shift report. That will really be the success of this program, is if our reporting is good and efficient, then we can prove that we did a good job out in the public. All right, so our next steps. So everybody who is attending the in-person is live here with me tonight with this information meeting. You'll be receiving an email. They'll have application instructions. So we have a quick survey to learn more about you, to teach you more about the program. So we'll send that out. You can expect it in the next few days or so. And then after that, we'll publish our training dates. I can tell you that our first in-person training will take place in the first week of June. And then we'll have trainings throughout the summer. So if you missed the first one, we can work with you to schedule a second in-person training. But we'll also have more of these throughout the summer so we can get as many people in the program as possible. So if our first in-person training, if we can get 4 people or more, we can keep it scheduled. If not, we'll look for another date. But when we have 4 people for a training, we can definitely make it take place. It'll be a lot more fun with the more people that we have. So our ultimate goal is to get the first round of trail ambassadors on the trails by the first weekend of June. If not, then we're hoping to get everybody on the trails by the second week of June. And the in-person training will take place here in Colorado Springs. We're working on locations, so I'll be sent out in emails and published on the Trails and Open Space Coalition Facebook page and on the website as well, and in the emails that we'll send out after this meeting. But that training will be about 90 minutes long, and it will involve working as a group with different scenarios. We'll go over information. It'll be hands-on learning. We'll learn from each other. We'll learn from the TOS staff. And then throughout the summer, we'll have the other opportunities to learn about Leave No Trace and the history of parks and other things like that. All right, so that concludes what I had tonight to answer for you guys. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and just type them into the chat. If not, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys tonight. And I'm looking forward to get this program going.